Stealing another man's woman is not strong, it's weak. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you why by breaking down 7 bullet points of why stealing another man's woman is not masculine. And the topic for this video originally came about because I was scrolling through Twitter and this post came on my feed from this dating coach called Pat Stedman. And he claims that if they're not married, they're just renting. If she's not married and doesn't have kids with the guy, then you can shoot your shot. And that you should try and claim another man's woman if you think you're better than the guy. And this is the reason why I'm making this video. Number one, to expose how immoral this advice is, because as a dating coach, this should disqualify him for ever giving advice again. And number two, to educate young men who watch my channel or have come across this video, because there's a lot of modern dating advice of bitter men, and they just see women as a conquest, someone to hurt, someone to use. And a young guy who's maybe not in control of his lust, has low self-esteem, will see something like this and think it's alpha, think it's masculine. But I'm here to tell you it's not. Real masculinity is about honor, loyalty, and integrity. But before we break down my 7 points, let's first read his post. Let's actually see what he has to say and then go through everything. So Pat Stedman says, a lot of guys get livid when you say this, that if they're not married, he's just renting. But it's the reality. Girls in relationships are totally on limits. Many top tier girls are always taken. They have the options to not be single, so why wouldn't they choose to be with someone so long as he checks enough boxes? It doesn't mean they're going to marry the guy or even that they want to. So here's what the first thing I find interesting. This guy, I mean, he's like hairline receding. He looks like an old guy, maybe late 30s, early 40s. And my question is, if I'm nearly 30 myself, I should keep my mouth shut. But if he's an older gentleman who quote unquote has experience and he's helped hundreds of men find women, shouldn't he know that yes, a good woman is always snatched up and taken off the market early, but if she's a good woman, doesn't she have high standards? Doesn't that mean she's choosing a man she truly desires and respects and loves, so that she doesn't even want to look outside of the relationship, she's committed to him? So she's not snatchable. She's not able to be taken away because she's committed to him, because she loves him. And if she has high standards, she chose right. She chose a man who ticked all the boxes. And a good woman is monogamous and she only dates to marry because she wants the protection and love of a good man. So him saying that she's a top tier girl, but then it doesn't mean she's going to marry the guy or even that they want to. Well, she's not into hooking up and sleeping around, so what does she want? So I'd question what his standard is for even a good woman, because I'm pretty clear about what it is, guys. A good woman dates to marry, monogamous, loyal. She wants a man she's attracted to, a man she respects and admires. And she's feminine and loyal, common sense. So this guy, I don't think he has a lot of standards, and he's exposed himself just in that sentence. And then he follows up saying, not saying you should be a sleazeball, or even that you should specifically target these girls, but why would you even target a good woman in the first place if you know a good woman values loyalty? See what I mean? But then he says, but, and anything you say after but is a lie, but if you feel like you can do better for a girl than her boyfriend, you're a pussy for not making your case. You're not honorable, you're low testosterone for backing off and leaving her with the lesser specimen. So now he uses wordplay to manipulate an audience with low self-esteem, that if you think you're better than her boyfriend, you're weak, you're not honorable, and you have low testosterone if you let her get away. You're wasting her time in essence, and you're doing her a disservice if she stays with that weak guy. This is like reverse psychology. And then he says, many of the happiest marriages I've ever seen came about because the man claimed his woman from another man. Sometimes they even broke up engagements. Bottom line is, if she's not married, then there are no kids, there's no signed contract. He's just renting a shoot your shot. Well, from this, my deduction is, as a dating coach, you should mark and avoid. Even listening to this guy, he doesn't value loyalty, so I would question his practices with his clients. If he's not loyal to the woman in his life, how is he going to be loyal to your clients? How you do one thing is how you do everything. He obviously doesn't honor women. He thinks it's okay to steal another man's woman, which, by the way, a good woman can't be stolen anyway because she would just say no to him. But the fact that this is something he's teaching, and he's willingly put this out there on Twitter for the world to see, either he's not very intelligent, or his standard is really this immoral that he's too deep into it and thinks it's a good thing. But if he really thinks that some of the happiest marriages are men who've claimed women from another man, he really has no standards. I have hundreds of videos on my YouTube channel, you can scroll back over the years, from men and women, tons of case studies where they started dating someone, that person cheats on someone else to be with them, they lie about the partner they're with, they make you think you're better than them. How do all those relationships end? If it comes from monkey branching or cheating, it ends that way. It's always the case. So I don't know where he's coming out with these statistics, but based on experience and just common sense, if someone's willing to cheat on someone to be with you, they don't value integrity, and they will cheat on you too, most likely. So everything he says is inverted, and it's just a cope. So I left a comment saying, if she can be stolen from another man, she lacks integrity, and so do you. There's a reason why coaches as yourself have to deal in immoral behavior, and surprise, surprise, your clients get low quality, degenerate women too. It says a lot about you as a man. And I took a look at his account, and a lot of his stuff is a bit red pill. He's very... This is a man that just doesn't value love. So that's his statement, and now I'm going to break down my 7 reasons why, if it wasn't obvious enough so far. So my first reason why stealing another man's girl is not masculine is because it's weak. You see, if you have to target a woman who's already taken, it's not a display of strength. It's a display of weakness due to a lack of standards. So you're telling me there's single women out there who don't have a man in their life, they're looking to date, they want to bond, and you are willingly trying to break apart another man's bond with a woman? So what does that tell you? Walking into another man's house and trying to steal something that's his, that's immoral. It's stealing. You didn't earn it, you stole it. And a masculine man has no interest in taking what belongs to someone else. This is not masculine, guys. It really isn't. Number 2, it's immoral. People think morality is about not doing horrible crime, but it's more than that. Morality is, what are you doing when no one's looking? Are you still doing the right thing if no one's looking? And even if you could get away with this, knowing that it's wrong and not doing it, that's the right thing. Because even if a woman is not married, but she's in a committed relationship, they have a tacit agreement where they have committed to one another. And if you have no respect for another man's relationship, then you have no respect for your future relationships either. Because by his standard, if you think the guy, the boyfriend she has, is lesser value than you, then you should shoot your shot. So by that standard, someone looks at him and goes, okay, Pat, you're an ugly 30 to 40-year-old, balding, ugly-ass looking, wrinkly man. I'm younger, more attractive than you. I'm going to go and steal your girl because you're inferior to me. Surely he's okay with guys playing by the same rules. Or I guess he doesn't want guys coming up to his girl, right? And trying that because it's disrespectful, is it? You see what I mean? So he's a hypocrite. And he lacks morals. This is immoral. Honor means you draw the line at another person's relationship. I don't care if they're married. I don't care if they have kids. You see a ring on their finger or not. You don't know what's going on in someone's life. Maybe they're a young couple who don't believe in marriage. Maybe they have maybe they're saving up to get married. Maybe she's just going to get engaged with her. Right? Maybe they're a really young couple and they just started going out, but they really love each other. They've only been together for 2 months. You don't know what you don't know. But trying to go for it specifically to target another man's girl and try and take him off her, it's immoral. What Christ says, do to others as you'd have others do unto you. Do you want anyone doing this to you? No. So don't do it to another man. And number 3, you attract cheaters, you keep cheaters. And guys like this like to tell themselves, well, she left him for me because I'm better. Okay, I took her away from the man she was with because he's a lesser specimen and I'm way better than him. But the reality is, she left you because she just doesn't value the sanctity of a commitment. If she was a moral, healthy woman and she's unhappy, she'll dump him, stay single, heal, lick her wounds, and when she's ready again, she'll start dating again. But a woman or a man for that matter, who's willing to swing from relationship to relationship, doesn't value a relationship. And if she's willing to leave him to be with you, guess what? She's going to do the same to you. That's exactly how she'll leave you in the end. You don't win by getting a girl like that. You're actually losing. Because in essence, you're just renting until the next guy comes along. Because she doesn't value loyalty. And neither do you. Because if she's disloyal once, statistically she's capable of doing it again. And you can't build trust on disloyalty. You just can't. Number 4, it's rooted in insecurity, not strength. Stealing another man's girl. It's insecure men who want an ego boost of thinking that they beat another man or that they're superior to him because they have an inferiority complex, low self-esteem. They're insecure. They compare themselves to other men. And it's not strength, it's insecurity. And it's disguised as confidence. But if you're truly confident, what happens? You don't do something like this to another man, or to yourself, for that matter. If you are truly a confident man, you are going to choose a woman who's single without betraying someone else or trying to break up another relationship. Weak men try to win cheap battles because they can't win the real ones. And it's a confirmation of low standards. If you, as a single guy, are too afraid to put yourself out there and find a girl who's single and ready to date, and instead you want to try and steal another man's girl, someone you know from work, a friend, a family friend, someone close to you, the fact that you're even willing to try or want to, you are someone who does not value loyalty. And you are not only untrustworthy, should be untrustworthy around other women, but no man should be your friend when you are in this state. This is an insecurity issue. There is nothing confident or cool about doing this. The cases I've seen of men and women who have woken up to find out that their partner has cheated on them or monkey brushed on them, that pain is unbearable for many. Especially when there's kids or a family involved. And even if there isn't, it's still painful. No one deserves to be cheated on. It is humiliating and it is dehumanizing. And you willingly taking part in making that happen to someone else says a lot about you as a man. Number 5. Real men, real masculinity protects relationships. It doesn't destroy them. Because real men don't just think about themselves, they think about others. And as Christ said, it's more blessed to give than to receive and to take care of others' needs. Think about the standard you're setting for other men around you. If you can undermine another man's relationship, you are going to create distrust wherever you go. I posted a TikTok, YouTube, Instagram reel the other day. There was an old Italian mafia saying that if you as a man can betray the woman who trusts you enough to close her eyes and sleep next to you at night, you are not worthy of the trust of the whole world. And it's very true. I do not trust men that cheat on women. I distance myself from them. If you can do that to another woman, what are you going to say behind my back? How are you going to treat me? Because we all know after God, the most important relationship you have is with your woman, then everything else. So if you can betray the most important person in your life, quote unquote, what are you going to do to the other people in your life? You can't lead men if they can't trust you. The strongest men I know are the ones who make women feel safe and respected. And if you're destroying another man's relationship, you're operating like a scavenger, like a thief. That's not masculine. Second to last, number 6. It's a short-term ego boost and it comes with long-term consequences. Sure, if you're an insecure guy who's never gotten a girl before, or you're trying to compare yourself to other men, or you're bitter to women, or whatever, maybe guys bullied you as a kid and you feel like you want to one-up other men, you might get a little ego boost. But pulling a girl who's taken in the long term, you're known as the guy who can't be trusted. Even your own friends will watch their backs around you, and if your reputation is everything, and it carries. We all know, like with the town slut, we've all heard stories growing up, oh, stay away from that chick, she's done this, this and this. But women have their terms too for men like this. They call them community dick, or he's out there cheating on all the different women. Guys like this are the ones who ultimately end up single, or they have to relocate to another area where no one knows about their shenanigans. Because reputation carries. And that's one of the consequences of stealing another man's girl. I know there was a case of a guy a few years ago, and really successful, and he was cheating on his wife with his secretary. And in his lunch break, he'd always drive somewhere and cheat, park the car somewhere and go cheat with her. And one day he was driving and he got distracted and swerved off a corner. The car got totaled. She dies, and he ends up like in a wheelchair. Obviously his wife found out and she left him, so obviously he couldn't work because he's in a wheelchair. So he lost his job, he lost his income, he lost his wife, and he lost his legs, and the woman he was cheating on with. There are serious life and death consequences that can come from this. God will not be mocked. And you always have that shadow of disloyalty hanging over you. And what's worse is some guys can come after you. If another man finds out, they can blow a hole in your head, or beat you, or end your life. This is self-destruction. Is that worth it? When you can just go for a girl who's single, there's no ex in the background, both of you, you're both healed, you're ready to find someone. That's how it should be. And last but not least, a biblical and traditional truth. The Bible tells us in Proverbs 6:32, whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doth it destroyeth his own soul. Even without a marriage license, you're still playing with that spirit of adultery. Because the values you have before marriage are the ones you carry into marriage. And you're planting seeds of betrayal that will harvest betrayal. You're showing God and everyone else that you can't be trusted with someone else's heart. A masculine path is not to take what's not yours, it's to build what is. Guys, this lifestyle is one that's dangerous. I'll tell you another story before I end. There was another case, and it was about a man who, something was off with his girl. I think I mentioned it in older videos, and long story short, she ended up cheating on him with another guy, building a relationship behind his back, and he found out. They were invited out to a friend's wedding, and he, because he knew where she lived, he hid in the driveway, and she walks up with the guy. He walks up with a gun, blows the fucking guy's head off, excuse my French, literally shoots the guy. She's there covered in the guy's blood, shocked what's going on. He looks at her and says, "Did you see what you made me do?" Turns the gun on himself and offs himself as well. So obviously she's traumatized for life. The ex is dead. The ex has killed her lover she was cheating on with. But it's like, I don't feel bad for that woman. She deserves to be traumatized because she's a cheating scum, right? It's the same with a man or a woman who's cheating. It's wrong. But this is the danger of you doing this to someone. You can hurt someone so much on the receiving end that they will try and take your life or their life. He's lucky he didn't go after her, because it can happen, but he went after the guy. And then he took his own life because he couldn't bear the pain of betrayal. And I'm not going to say too much else, but I've seen a lot of cases where I grew up, where I live, of cases where there's cheating and then the man, he does something like this. It's really sad, but this is all avoidable if you don't steal another man's girl. Find a woman whose heart can't be stolen, because she's only got eyes for you. And if you want more help with that, I'd invite you to check out my Relearning Relationship School community. You get exclusive access to my group calls, to my audiobook, different courses I've made. I'd love to have you in so you can learn more about relationships. And with that said, hope you'll have a wonderful day. I'll leave a link down below. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think I'm correct on this topic? Do you have anything to add to it? Or this Pat Stedman guy? What do you think about his advice? And I'll see you all in the next one.